Wednesday. We are going to continue to talk about important African Americans and our history and how they helped impact our lives. This is Rosa Parks. Some of you may have heard of her before, and also if you kind of look right here, you might recognize that is Martin Luther King Jr. Whoops. Whoa, sorry guys. All right, our question: how have important African Americans shaped our history and our laws today? I can learn about famous African Americans and discuss their importance and role in our history. Our vocabulary: African American, school, segregation, laws, and boycott. So we have a video, a brain pop for us to watch on Rosa Parks. So turn your listening ears on.
I'm researching a famous American. Who was Rosa Parks? Rosa Parks was born Rosa Louise McCauley on February 4th, 1913. She grew up on a farm near Montgomery, Alabama. Rosa's mother was a teacher and taught her at home. When Rosa was 11 years old, she went to the Montgomery Industrial School for Girls, which was for African American girls. Segregation is the separation of people based on their race, culture, religion, or other reason. At the time, schools were segregated. African Americans and people of other races were not allowed to go to the same school as white students. Rosa went to high school, but she had to leave when her grandmother and mother got sick. Then Rosa met Raymond Parks, and they got married. With his help, she went back and finished high school when she was 20 years old. At the time, most African Americans didn't graduate high school, but Rosa Parks did. She became a member of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. The NAACP is an organization that fights for equal rights for all people. What was life like back in the 1950s? In the 1950s, African Americans were treated unfairly. Even though African Americans had the right to vote, some people made it very hard for them to do so. Rosa Parks tried to register 3 times before she was finally able to vote. Blacks and people of other races were segregated or separated from whites in many ways. There were segregated restaurants, theaters, bathrooms, and even water fountains. Blacks also had to sit in different parts of the bus. If the bus got crowded, blacks and people of other races had to give up their seats. A few people refused to follow the rule, and they got arrested. So, what did Rosa Parks do? One day, Rosa Parks got on the bus and sat down. As more people got on the bus, the driver told her to give her seat to a white passenger. Rosa Parks was tired of being treated unfairly just because of the color of her skin, so she said no and refused to move. Rosa Parks was arrested and put in jail. When she got out the next day, people in the community joined together. A minister named Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. helped organize a boycott of Montgomery's bus system. A boycott is when people join together and refuse to do business with someone or something. What happened during the Montgomery bus boycott? Thousands of people refused to ride the bus in protest of segregation. Some people walked miles in the rain just to get to work. People started carpools to take other people places. Some rode bikes and even buggies. Communities from all over the country supported the boycott, and they even donated shoes. Then, the Supreme Court ruled that segregating buses was against the Constitution. The boycott had lasted over a year before it ended, from December 1st, 1955 to December 20th, 1956. Finally, people could sit wherever they wanted. Rosa Parks stood up for what she believed in and helped make a difference. Throughout her life, she continued to be an activist, fighting for equal rights and working to make changes to laws. Rosa Parks died on October 24, 2005. Thousands of people around the country honored her memory. I can't answer all of your questions about Rosa Parks. You'll just have to read my essay. Moby, I haven't finished writing it yet.
Moby was anxious to learn. All right, guys. So now it's your turn. After learning about Rosa Parks through the video we just watched, you're going to write 4 facts you learned about Rosa Parks. I don't want to see up here Rosa Parks is cool. Rosa Parks is helpful. I want to know how and why. What did she do? So 4 facts about Rosa Parks. Then you are going to answer this question. Well, 2 of these questions. How do you think Rosa Parks felt after this happened? So after it was all over, how do you think she felt? And explain. How would you feel if you could only sit in a certain spot on the bus? And